Right, we can carry on this conversation. I just need to say one thing. Welcome to Talking Bridal with Bridezilla. We've literally just been chatting, and I was like, actually, let's just get on with this.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say, welcome to Talking Bridal with Bridezilla. Today we're joined by Tish.
Hello. Hello.
Or Letitia is the
Letitia.
formal name, but everybody knows you online as
Tish
Makeup by Tish, don't they? Yeah. And so you've just come on board with the Bridezilla team.
I have.
So exciting.
I know, me
I've had
too.
lots of new members this year.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's so nice to see you grow.
I wasn't expecting this sort of influx of people, but at the same time, I'm like able to kind of handpick, and I was like, because we have worked on quite a few weddings, haven't we, in the past, because we're all local hair and makeup artists. We all work closely together on lots of weddings, have done over the years.
Absolutely.
So I had met you, obviously, and worked with you quite a lot. And you're so great.
And now I'm on your team.
And now you're on the team. What made you decide to join the team?
To be honest, it's just nice. I just feel like, just not just the Bridezilla team or whatever, but in the area in general, is such a supportive environment. Everyone is so happy to help.
Everyone's
with
so nice, aren't they?
And I always got told it was really competitive, and I haven't found it at all. I feel like everyone is so supportive, and I just thought it'd be so nice to have a more sort of contained support, if that makes sense. And like collaborating and all this sort of stuff. And everyone's so good on the team.
It's so hard to do, isn't it, on your own? I think when you're on your own, because you want to kind of get your work out there, but at the same time you're like, I need to outsource someone to do the hair for me, or I need to, and just having that, I guess, that extra support network where you can just, we've got our WhatsApp chat.
Exactly.
Sometimes I just have to silence it, because God,
there's so much going on.
Go on and on and on, don't we? Just like random stuff sometimes. But it's, if you've got a problem or you need some advice on something, it's just nice to have that group. And I feel like we've got such a lovely bunch of girls.
Absolutely. I do.
I just love it.
It's always been, like, even before, I mean, it's a very recent thing that I've joined you, but even before, everyone's just so supportive. I think Ruby has always been very, like, everyone just picks everyone up and helps each other, and I just think, I wanted a bit of that. That's what I wanted.
You wanted a bit of the action, didn't you?
Exactly.
You felt like you were like missing out on something.
I was like, come on.
I want some of that.
Exactly.
So give us a little bit of background. I mean, obviously I know you, so, but people that are listening that don't, people that are coming across you for the first time on through our website, watching this. Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you start off? And
I actually started off as when I was at uni. Didn't do anything to do with the makeup.
Okay.
And I had a part-time job at Estee Lauder.
At where?
Estee Lauder.
Oh, okay.
Just literally on a counter in Boots.
Okay.
It was just a money job. Being a student, wanting to go out, you know the drill.
Just a bit of pocket money for the weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. But I just sparked this love for makeup. I loved making people feel good. I think Estee Lauder, their sort of customer base is a lot of like an older lady, and it's just so nice to make people feel good. That's what I loved, and that's what I fell in love with.
So you kind of started out doing that. You sound a bit like me, because people always say, did you always want to be a hairdresser? I'm like, no. Did you play with doll's hair when you were younger? No.
It literally never
not interested.
came across me. It came across my no, absolutely not. And actually my sister, she bought me the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette or something. She sourced it for me. I can't remember it. I think it was like a second-hand jobby.
Sourced it for you.
Did she nick it? Dodgy deal. Yeah, absolutely. No. I think she was part of a Facebook group that was selling second-hand makeup or whatever. Anyway, got this palette and I fell in love with it, and then I started like buying more, and I just absolutely fell in love with it, and that's what started Makeup by Tish. Yeah.
I think it is one of those things, isn't it, that you just suddenly find that you have a passion.
You fall into it and you're like,
when you fall into
this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
And it's almost like it's fate, isn't it? Because like I was sort of saying, like, with me, I left school at 16 because I hated school.
Oh, did you?
I was the only one out of my friendship group that just left as soon as I was 16. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, see ya.
They all went and did A levels, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And it was weird because for me, like my dad was like a teacher at school for like 30 years, and I didn't do horrendously with grades,
No.
you know, completely, but I just didn't like that
Some
school
people
environment.
don't.
I
It
think
just
my
doesn't-
daughter's going to be the same.
Oh, really?
But I had a Saturday job when I was 14 working in the salon, and like you,
okay,
just
yeah.
literally
just for money.
just for a bit of money. I think I was on like a whopping £1.20 an hour back then. Yeah,
Lucky
big money,
you.
big
Lucky
money.
you.
And I just, you know, and then when it came to leaving school, the guy that I worked for at the time was just like, you know, if you want to come and work here, we'll pay you again a whopping, I don't know, £55 a week to do your apprenticeship.
Score.
And I was like, when do I start? And I literally started in the summer holidays of and then it wasn't until I started doing. I wasn't just sweeping the floor, making the teas.
Yeah.
I was getting a
Actually,
bit more hands-on involved
absolutely.
and learning. I was like, I like this.
Yeah,
and then
see?
it just goes from
doesn't
there.
it? Yeah.
So you've always kind of done makeup, basically.
So from uni, I left uni, I did my degree in film production, so nothing to do with makeup at all.
But do you find that comes in handy now?
Yes, I do
with
find
Instagram
skills.
and things like that to showcase your work, because your Instagram's incredible. Like, you know, all these.
Thank you.
And do you know what? Like, Makeup by Tish, if you look on Instagram we'll put your link at the end of this
Thank you.
podcast as well, so people can find you online. But I just love your little funny just like random, like you do a lot of like obviously makeup looks which are incredible, but then sometimes it's just like a day in the life of Tish, and it's just like you brushing your teeth,
absolutely.
and I just love what you do. So I guess that came in handy because you're quite,
got the
you know,
editing
you
and
are
stuff
good at doing all that.
Absolutely, and like I use the skills like photo editing and like working out white balancing and all the rest of it. Like it's all in my head, and it's all stuff I learned. It's just a very expensive way to learn it.
Wow, but
hey, it's
all coming back in.
Exactly.
You need to do that now,
and it's something
don't
to
you?
fall back on if everything fails.
Hopefully
Fingers crossed
not.
it doesn't.
I don't think it will. I mean,
I don't
was
think
just
it's-
saying, like before with Joe in our last podcast, that, you know, like the hair and makeup industry is huge now.
Exactly. There's
Huge.
so many different ways you can go. So
many
I'm
different
not worried.
things.
I'm
No,
not worried.
you're
It's
not
all
worried.
fine.
And you'll be, you know. So what do you enjoy most about wedding mornings? What can people expect from Tish? Because I've worked with you. You are just such good fun to be around, and I think everybody just instantly warms to you, which is why I was like, I just really need her on my team. Not that we're all miserable, just add, but you know, Tish, you do bring the life.
I do like it. I think I was literally saying this to a bride that I did a trial for this morning, is that we do this day in, day out. This is hopefully the only time they're going to do this. They don't really know the gist of it, really. Yeah. Like the wedding morning sometimes can get overlooked.
Yeah.
So I do kind of, on a trial, I'm like, please don't overlook it, because it's such a special morning.
Yeah.
You and your girls, you and your family, you and your mum, whoever you've got around you.
Yeah.
And there's so many special moments in that morning, whether it's your mum putting you in your dress, or your bridesmaid seeing you for the first time in everything, or sometimes your bridesmaids haven't seen the dress.
Yeah.
So although of course I absolutely love doing the makeup, that is one part of it. It's those extra special moments that are so lovely.
Do you get emotional at weddings?
I haven't cried
have.
yet. I've been close, very, very close.
I do it a lot. Which is really
I think as soon as I start, and I'm like,
no,
yeah, exactly. But it's nice. It just shows that you're in it.
Yeah,
you're not just there for the job.
No, and people say, "Oh, doesn't doing weddings and things like that? Isn't it stressful? Isn't it this?" And it's not, is it? No. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep doing it.
I think when you first start, it's incredibly stressful.
It can be a little bit scary,
really, really stressful.
Yeah, because there's a lot of pressure.
Exactly.
Pressure. There is a lot of pressure.
It really is, and
expectations. You feel like you don't want to let your bride down. You want everything to be perfect for them.
Exactly.
And even now, I don't know about you, but I've been doing it 20 odd years. But even now, I go to bed the night before a wedding, and I'm like going through my notes, looking at the pictures. Yeah. I set 3 alarms.
Yeah, I'll
just
set
in
more
case
than that.
one,
I've got like
I've got one out on the landing in case, so I actually physically have to get out of bed to switch it off, because I panic that I might oversleep, and overthink. Yeah. And then I find I'm stalking them later on Instagram, Facebook, look at the hair, make sure the wave stage,
God, we're all the same, aren't we?
Yeah, we still panic, we still, because we're so passionate, I guess, about what we're doing. Yeah. but that doesn't mean that it's, you know, a stressful job.
No, I think that's it, isn't it? It's we're so used to doing it, and we know we're confident in our skill. We know that it's all good. It's going to be fine. Yeah. As long as you're prepared, and like you say, you check your notes and you check your photos,
mentally
and make sure
prepared.
Exactly. It does just go so breezily. Touch wood.
Yes, it does.
It's all fine.
Yeah.
Like even when there's always a moment on a wedding morning where the energy ramps up. Yeah. And you're like, everyone's starting to rush. Everyone's starting to get, but like the energy just changes.
Yes. And it's usually like that hour before, isn't it?
Is
that last hour.
Is. And sometimes timings do go over. It happens. It's a wedding. Of course it's going to.
Yeah.
But I think that's when, again, we've done this day in, day out. People look back to us and we're the calming sort of like, it's fine. Yeah. What are you worried about? Yeah. What are we worrying? Why are we worrying?
Exactly.
And I think that's a good.
And I think as well, I know I've seen you do it, and I've done all sorts over the years, you know, changed nappies, or we've like, you know, helping them get into their dress, putting the shoes on, you know, I've been going around putting flowers on tables because they forgot to, you know, and I'm just like, you kind of just get stuck in.
Yeah. As soon as you've done the makeup or the hair. You just become an extra pair of hands, don't you? It's just like, oh, you need your necklace done up. Let me do it, because everyone's got nails and they've not usually have.
I can never do that because I always have.
Oh, see, but usually people have them just for the wedding, don't they? So they're not used to these long nails. So you're like, oh, let me do that. Or just like, you just become an extra pair of hands, and it's so nice to be involved. It is. And I just feel so honoured that I get to do it as a job. Yeah, that's my job.
I do say that. I do feel like I say this to my clients as well sometimes, you know. I have a lot of, you know, over the years where I've done just normal hairdressing, you know, and I've obviously always done bridal, but just general cutting, colouring, you know. I've had lots of clients over the years. But so many people are unhappy in their jobs. I've come across, you know, they're moaning about their boss, or that they don't like someone in the office, their work's stressful, you know. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't ever get up in the morning. Yes, we all get tired. Yes, we all have days where we're like,
God, I've got a long day. Yeah.
But I never get up and think, I hate my job. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go and do that wedding today, or I don't want to do a trial. I don't want to, you know, it's always a nice job and a happy job to be in, isn't it? You know, 9 times out of 10, everyone's happy on a wedding morning. Of course, there's a few times when, you know, emotions run high, and again, we're there to like diffuse those situations if you know they occur, which you know I've had before, which leads me on to the question that I wanted to ask about any stories that you've got, and I don't know which one you're going to tell me, but I can think of one where I was at with the wedding with you. With me, are you going to tell us that story?
This was over at Wasing Park, where you get ready in a separate place and you have to kind of drive around. The bride, I don't think there was any transport organised for everyone to get from.
I don't think that part was organised, because I remember loading my car up with a load of bridesmaids' dresses and boxes.
And then I took some bridesmaids with me.
In your car,
in my car, and then she obviously had a couple in her car as well.
Yeah.
So I followed her up, because first time I'd ever been to Wasing Park as well. So I followed her up the track. She pulled up, I pulled up behind her. I got out, we all got out, and then I think it must have been a wedding coordinator or someone came out and was like, oh, just go around the back so nobody sees you, sort of thing. She's already got her makeup on. I think her hair was pretty much done. Everything was already there. She just needed to get dressed and tweaked and whatever. And so I pulled up right behind her, which she said that's what I needed to do. So that's what I'm around the back of my car getting my kit all ready, and I just hear this almighty crunch, and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? What was that? And I just heard all the bridesmaids like gasp in unison, like, and I came around and I was like, was that the bride in the car? She hadn't got out of the car at this point. I was like, was that the bride? Was that the bride? And they were like, oh my God, yeah, it was. And I was like, right, let's not panic. It's fine. It's fine. And we hadn't long had our car at this point. So I had to call my partner afterwards and explain what happened, and he was like, he hadn't seen the damage and it wasn't actually that bad. All got sorted, all fine. But imagine that on your...
basically, I know, I just remember, is it bad? I was like, oh, that wasn't my car. It was Tish's. It's fine.
It's fine. Don't have to worry about that.
I just remember, because I think I got a head start. So I was like, we'll meet you at the bridal suite. I'm going to go take the dresses, all my kit, get set up. And I remember I'd done that. I'd hung up the dresses. I'd got all my kit back out. And I'm like, where are they?
Where are they all? Yeah.
You know, because time was getting on because you know, we were only in the bridal suite for a short amount of time, and I was like, why are they taking so long? And then literally, I remember the bride came in all like in a fluster, and she was such a lovely.
Yeah, she was lovely.
She was lovely, and she felt awful.
Yeah, she did, and I can imagine.
I can't believe I've just you know hit your car, and you were, I just remember thinking, bless you, Tish. Like you were so perfect, and you were like, it doesn't matter.
This is not a day to worry about it. Yeah.
Just it's everybody's okay. That's the main thing. Yeah. And I would have been like, I don't know if I would have been that like, calm about it. I'd have been like, have you seen the dent you just put in my car?
Bless her. It's imagine doing that on the morning of your wedding. Yeah. Like it's getting to the point where you need to be ready.
Yeah.
And I think, she's just crashed into a car.
Yeah. A makeup artist's car. You could have got one back on her, couldn't you? Just been like, let me just top up that lipstick for you there.
Exactly. Yeah, no, but it was all sorted.
I think you were incredible that morning because I was like, oh, I really felt for you. But I was like, you know,
what can you say?
Professional. What can you say?
Exactly.
And I think, you know, obviously, emotion, everything, you know, you just, I mean, I've done it before. You know, I've been in my car, and obviously, you know, I've had lots of pranks over the years, but, you know, sometimes do you ever get in your car and like you drive somewhere and then you get there? Like my friend the other day, she lives in Thatcham near the Swan, sort of, and you have to go over the railway crossing, or you can come in the other way. And I got around there, and she was like, "Oh, you're all right. You know, what did you do today?" She said, "Did you come the back way? Did you go over the crossing?" And I went,
"I don't know.
I don't actually know.
Yeah,
I don't actually remember
this, like, zone,
getting here because I'm driving, but completely unaware of my surroundings. So I guess it is very easily." Yeah.
And you're stressed on the morning of your wedding, and the last thing you think is something's going to be right behind you.
Yeah.
And but I just literally came up and I was like, as soon as she got out of the car, I was like, let's not panic.
Yes.
We're all fine. It's just a bit of a dent.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'll pay for it. And I was like, that's all I need to hear. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go get married. Let's go get you married. Like,
but bless her. I love it. I love
a bit of drama.
Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes.
Exactly. It does. Yeah. Oh, well, honestly, we could chat all day.
I know. How long have we been going? 20? Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, yeah, we've gone a little bit over, but, you know, we get told off. But
it's fine. That's what editing's for, Kellie. That's
exactly.
What editing's for.
We just cut it down. Cut it down. Yeah. So this year, I know we've kind of gone back on it, you know, this year, how many brides have you got? How many weddings are you booked in?
That's a very good question.
It's a busy year. I know
it's busy.
Everybody's busy this year. I think we're finally.
I couldn't tell you know.
I think I feel like we've caught up with lockdown now. I want to say because that was a busy last year. Was horrendous. Not horrendous, but as in horrendously busy. Yeah. Like I just remember like. 1 week, I think I had like 4 weddings consecutive
that's
days.
A lot, isn't it? Yeah.
And it got to the end of that week, and I was like, I just need to go and lie in a dark room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, no one talked to me.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? You're always on at a wedding. Yeah. You have to be on.
Yeah.
And I say this because like you always finish. It's like you get your afternoon, don't you? Most of the time. Yeah. But that is a write-off because you are constantly on for those however many hours. Yeah. Because you need to be the person who brings the vibes, like, do you know what I mean? But like, if you're on constantly, when you get in the car, you literally drive and you're like,
yeah, I see so many funny,
zombied.
You've probably done a few as well, and I remember doing one, I think the first wedding of the year, you know, you see these funny little memes or things that go out on Instagram of like, you know, the wedding morning or like bridal hair and makeup artist after that, you know, after a wedding. Yeah. And I'm always like, because I forget to eat and drink when I'm at wedding. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, a lot of the time actually, you know, the brides are lovely and they bring, don't you just like your mouth waters? They bring in, you know, when they bring in the
pastries and
you're like
fruit and you're like,
and they're like, oh, have one, and you were like, oh yeah, okay, thanks. But
I wasn't thinking about that.
We're too polite to actually eat one because obviously we're doing our job and don't want to drop crumbs in their hair or whatever, sticky fingers on their face. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you're like, God, that looks good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember one, I think it was last year, me and Phoebe were at this venue and they'd all gone, we'd got them all ready, and they were sort of running a bit behind, so they just said, oh, we'll just leave you here, just pack up, thank you, see you later. And they'd left all the stuff, and they had a proper spread. They had like pancakes, fruit, like you name it. Ooh. And me and Phoebe just looked at each other. We didn't have to say anything, we just looked at each other and we sat down and we were like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think after a wedding morning, you're just like,
you go like, you're running, and then it's like everyone stops and you're like, right.
Yeah.
It's just like a moment to breathe.
Yeah.
And then you just hit a wall, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's like, no one else talk to me. I just need to go to a corner of a dark room and just be alone.
Yeah, exactly. Or like get back to your car, and I've always got like, open up the glove box and I've always got like a Twix or a Mart or something.
good
And I'm just like, I just gotta. And sometimes I think I've gone to the toilet and said, I just need to have a wee, and I've literally shoved a double decker in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, get a bit of a sugar rush, but it is like that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It really is. But you know, it's all these little things like behind the scenes that you know people I don't always like, you know, realise goes on. You know.
No, absolutely.
You know, and I think, you know, we are professional at what we do, but there is a side to it as well that's just so funny sometimes, you know, and like, you know, when you're lugging your kit, I'm always like tripping over my kit, I'm dropping, you know. Like,
and then, you get offered help and you're like, no, I'm fine.
I'm
done this so many
fine.
times, but actually you should have gone, yes, please, please help me.
Yeah. I remember someone said to me at reception once at the hotel, was just like, oh yeah, because I had all my kit, and they were like, oh, you can take the lift or it's just up on the foot. I was like, oh, I take the stairs. I
Big
literally
mistake.
like 2 steps up and I'm like flat over, all my kit, my coffee went flying, and I was like, this is the part behind the scenes that they don't see.
Absolutely.
I think maybe we should start having a little Bridezilla behind the scenes, you know,
it
the blunders.
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely
do that, and you'll be good with all your video editing, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Well, Tish, I could talk to you all day.
I know,
you know I could,
literally.
but I'm going to get told off. So
too much to edit.
I know. Well, no, but you know, I'll have you back on anyway.
Yep,
and everyone can just find out what Tish is up to. You can follow Tish at Makeup by Tish.
Absolutely.
And also, now that she's joined the team, you'll be seeing a lot more of her on our Instagram.
Absolutely.
And we've got a team branding shoot happening next week,
so
which is
excited.
so you'll have like a really professional looking image on the website.
Absolutely.
And then everyone will like, we know the real Tish. We've seen her.
She don't look like that normally.
You might do your hair next week as well.
I think I might. Well, this probably
you should keep it like that.
I definitely don't look like this ever.
No,
I've just
you've made an effort, so I appreciate that.
Can't make the effort.
No, exactly.
You never know who's going to watch.
Exactly. You never know. You never know who's watching. But thank you so
thank
much,
you.
and welcome to the team as well.
I feel honoured.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the team.
Yes.
Long may you be with us, and I can't wait for our weddings this year. It's going to be incredible.
I know.
We'll come back at the end of the year and we'll go, isn't that?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll
We need like
do
a
one at
roundup,
Christmas.
don't we?
Yeah, we'll do a roundup at the end of the year. We'll get everyone on, and then just have a little chat. So,
I'm sure there'll be some more stories to tell.
There will definitely be some more stories to tell this year.
Well, thank you for having me.
You are welcome. You're welcome.